Political pollster Peter Wickham has stoutly defended his most recent poll that shows the Team Unity government winning the next general elections. Some critics have claimed Wickham's past poll predictions on Caribbean politics have been wrong and questioned the credibility of his latest poll, that not only shows an election win for the government, but that Prime Minister Timothy Harris is more popular than opposition leader Denzel Douglas. But speaking on Freedom Radio's Issues program on Thursday, Mr. Wickham touted that his most recent election predictions in the Caribbean have been spot on.
The most recent election that we had was in Dominica, and Cadres was spot on where Dominica was concerned. We saw a swing of 2 percentage points away from the governing party, but with a win for the governing party. The governing won with a swing in favor of them of plus 2 percentage points, which is well within the margin of error that we project. The election before that, I believe, would have been in Barbados, where we had a situation in 2018 that Cadres predicted that the Barbados Labour Party would have won all 30 seats, and that's exactly what happened. You can go even further and look at other elections that we had in there, like the one in Antigua. And in the case of Antigua, our projection of victory for the Antigua-Barbuda Labour Party was correct, not only in the 2017 or 2018 election, but certainly in the one that was held before that, which was a change of government. I appreciate that it is in the interest of others to suggest that Cadres has a poor track record, but I think that the reality of the work that we have done in this region over the past 20 years speaks for itself.
Mr. Wickham also dismissed criticisms from fellow pollster Bill Johnson, who on the same radio program a day earlier questioned Mr. Wickham's methodology in his polling. Mr. Johnson just released results of his poll that shows a Labour Party victory and that Dr. Douglas was more popular than Dr. Harris.
Bill Johnson discusses Bill Johnson's polls. Peter Wickham will discuss Cadres' polls. I have no intention of going into the background in relation to Bill Johnson. And I think it is important that he, when he confines his comments and his discussion to stuff that he has done and work that he's done and the methodology with which he's familiar. I mean, there's a history of Bill Johnson. I am not getting into it because it is not my job to get into it. But I have a difficulty with an individual appearing and essentially conveying this impression to the public of St. Kitts and Nevis that he can walk on water and that he is an authority on things about which he knows nothing in this regard. So I'll leave Bill Johnson to himself, and I'm happy to discuss our findings. I'm willing to stand by our findings. I think the people of St. Kitts and Nevis know a bit about my organization, and I'm more than happy to answer any other questions or issues or concerns they might have.
While not disclosing more of his findings, Mr. Wickham hinted that Team Unity would win an additional 2 seats than it currently has.
What I shared was the results of a national poll. I shared a national swing, and I shared the implications that the national swing would have on particular seats. I am happier with that approach. The swing that I'm seeing, I'm comfortable with putting that on the table. The implications of that swing, which is essentially an increase in 2 seats or alternatively a maintenance of the status quo, again, I'm happy to put that in the public domain.
The debate on both Mr. Wickham's poll and Bill Johnson's poll rages on as St. Kitts and Nevis edges closer to general elections. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.